Welcome to Destined for Greatness podcast. I am your host, Devin Woods, and I got another special one for y'all. When I'm telling y'all, I'm going to keep bringing them. I'm not stopping no time soon. But while y'all coming in, man, I'm going to play a little record for y'all right now off my album. Shout out to the sobriety team, Kelvin Robinson. Check him out.
If life knocks me down, I get stronger. Nothing can stop me now. My money getting longer. Hard life had to face it. Long nights trying to make it. My past can't erase it. So now I'm going through changes. Nothing can stop me now. Nothing can stop me now. Nothing can stop me now. So now I'm going through changes. I done been through ups and downs. Almost gave up, but I'm still around. Gotta stay strong for my family. I only keep my day ones around me. Gotta thank God that he found me. I was hella lost, but now I see who really love and down for me, ride for me. I'ma show you real love. Ain't gon' lie, I'm still trying to heal love. All that pain and hate that I built up. I had to man up, face life. I had to change up and do right. No more handouts, I'm on my own hype. Came a long way from the long nights. I done made
Thank y'all for joining me today. Another one.
Trying to make it. If life knocks me down, I get stronger. Nothing can stop me now. My money getting long.
Welcome to Destined for Greatness podcast. I am your host, Devin Woods. I got another one today. A hometown legend, straight out of Lansing, Michigan. Hood Illustrated magazine. Do you understand what this man has done for our city? He has never let us down. He has always looked out for us. He has always done what he's supposed to do for the community. If you were an artist, he put you in his magazine. He'll come to your live shows and record you. It doesn't matter if he had the most elite talent, from Machine Gun Kelly to Cube to, man, I don't even want to get into the names this man has worked with, to Snoop to, I keep on trying to do, but I don't need to, because he's all that and above. And I want to bring my man on right now, no other than Mr. KC Hood, KC Carter, Hood Illustrated magazine. Let's go.
What up, dog, man? How you doing?
Man, I'm doing great, man. It's wonderful to have you on my platform, bro. Thank you for agreeing to come on, man.
Oh, man, it's a pleasure, man. I'm glad you're here with you. Lock it in, get it in.
Oh, man, that's exactly what we're about to do. We're about to lock it and get it in. Like I say every show, nobody can introduce themselves like themselves. For those that do not know you, sir, please introduce yourself.
All right, y'all. My name is KC, Hood Illustrated magazine. Been the CEO for a minute. We've been grinding, been work since 2007. Straight out of Lansing, Michigan. We just out here grinding, man. Representing the Midwest. That's what we do. We represent the Midwest artists, Midwest brands.
Yes, sir.
That's just what we do.
And that's what you've been doing forever, man. So, my very first question is, Casey, how did you get started on Hood Illustrated magazine? What inspired you to start a hometown magazine and go forward with it so far along in your career? What got you started on this, man?
Well, it really started from the music end. I ran a record label, Just One Enemy Records. Me and my artists, we were out there doing our thing, selling CDs out the truck. Basically, I was a CEO, manager, man of many hats. So what I did is I took some of that business knowledge and transformed it into a product and a platform where independent artists out of Lansing can get some shine. So that was the goal, to go ahead and put on the city. Whatever hot artist was in the city that was doing their thing, or they were just out there working, I made sure I pulled up on them, made sure I made people know who they were through my platform. And that was back in 2007, 2008.
Say what? So you trying to tell me you over a decade in this thing, huh?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Okay, man. Congratulations on that, man. Congratulations on everything. We're going to get to some things, but what was your very first magazine and who did you have in it?
Well, my very first magazine was It was actually called MPV, Midwest Point of View. It was before I developed Hood Illustrated. Actually, I had the name Hood Illustrated uh, already, the website, the name already prepared, but I didn't want to introduce it because I felt like I needed to go ahead and test the water. So I had NPV. I dropped an issue of that. It was basically a piece of paper, two pieces of paper folded in half, and I went in and highlighted some of the artists that was at Respiration over there
Oh
over
man,
the
you
east
said
side
respiration,
at
classic.
Max Bar. So I did that and got some feedback from the city. Took it up to the barbershop. Shout out to Big B's Barbershop. That was over on the west side. Now he over here off of Mount Hope, but that's the
What you mean?
first.
That's where I go get my cut, man. I've been getting my cut there since I've been in middle school. You can't tell me nothing about Big B.
Right. So I took it up there and got some feedback from the streets, from the hood. And they told me that, what I'm saying, they were feeling it. And they told me that I just need to put some more pictures in there and make it appealing. So after that, I got Big Perm on the first issue, which
Let's go.
it didn't have a actual picture of him. This is it right here. I just put his name there.
There it
Uh,
is, the very
and
first copy right there.
yeah, I think I got one of these, and I only distributed 200 of these in the streets. So what we did is put these out here, got a lot of good feedback, and then after that, it just kind of took off. I went ahead and put some faces on the magazine, and just start elevating the game. Try to make sure that everything, even outside of the music, politics, sports, anything that the hood was talking about, we got it.
You
You
was
had
on
it
it.
in Hood Illustrated.
So in that particular article, that was like your first one. Looking back, going that far back to 2007, reading that yourself, what kind of do you think that your journalist skills have picked up?
Oh yeah, definitely.
That's what's
Uh,
up, man. Because I enjoyed that then. I thought you were excellent. I'm like, man. So did you have any experience prior to this? Did you go to school for this, or did any like that, or did you just have it in your heart and have a passion just for writing?
well, it actually just kind of happened where the idea just popped in my head to go ahead and put out a
Mm.
magazine. I had went to school already. I graduated from J Dubs '97. Shout out to
Shout
the
out J
Dubs.
Dubs, but you know he's EV over here though. But go ahead.
I feel you. Uh, with the fact that graduated from there and went off to school at DeVry down in Columbus, Ohio. So I went down there for a few years. Ended up coming back here. Went to LCC, and got my associate's degree in business. I
Wow.
eventually went back to DeVry to complete that task because I'm a firm believer in if you start something, you got to finish it. So I ended up getting my bachelor's degree in business technology back in 2015. So that was
Wow.
almost like 10 years later, but I ended up getting that. But I've always had a keen a skill of being able to put words on paper and tell a story. So I'm not the best writer, but I am uh,
Passionate writer.
yeah, passionate. I try to circle myself around people who are great at that. So I got a team
I was going to
of
ask
great
you about
writers
that.
and contributors too.
So name off. So speaking of that, I definitely had that as one of my questions. Name off some of the people that help you run your magazine. Give them a shout out right now. Some of the people that help you with Hood Illustrated magazine. That people that don't know is behind the scenes doing their thing with you.
All right, definitely, man. It's a definitely a struggle just to go ahead and maintain everything solo, but we are independently owned. We are black owned, and
Let's go.
outside of myself, my wife, I mean, she held me down, holds me down, and gives me that passion to go ahead and continue to do what I have to do. Because I'm the type of person where I'll go ahead and if I have to do everything myself, I'll try to do it. And
Yeah.
just having that second set of eyes and the second set of thoughts to kind of keep me on track. That's my number one right there. And outside of that, we got a few writers on there. I got Joe Walker. He's a award-winning writer. We got Hakeem Crampton. I don't know if you know Hakeem. He's from around here too. He writes some articles too. Uh,
That's what's up.
I, it's just a few people that network that I build with. It's kind of like anybody that I build with and network with, they can get a page and write what they want in there. it ain't, ain't no big head over here. I'm just trying to share the love, share the support, and make sure that everybody get right. Graphic wise, this last issue that I dropped, issue number 11, I
I
went
seen
ahead
it.
and kind of went back to the roots of that first one. Uh, and I end up designing that one my whole self, my by myself, which I didn't have it done because I've always paid for the good quality and paid to get it done. I'm a firm believer in quality. That's why every
Hmm.
barcode that you see in the magazine is not taken off the internet. It's not taken
It's
off the.
official.
It's official. Uh, so everything I do trademark wise, I don't do none of the copy and paste, and all the articles that are written in the magazine or mentioned. I got actual footage or pictures. Shout out to Be Unique Designs. Be Unique,
Shout out B. What up, man?
he does some of the graphics for the magazine too. Um, but this last one, I went ahead and kind of went back to the root and kind of got some of that passion back that was missing uh,
Hmm.
from a few years ago.
All right, man. So going into it, so you was working locally. So how many articles did you do that were with local artists? And name off some of those people that you did work with in your beginnings before you started working with some of the industry acts that you have worked with.
Of course, Big Perp. I can say that he was one of the reasons that I kind of went hard on the magazine because
That's what's up.
I felt like Hood Illustrated was the Ozone magazine of the Midwest, and to have Ozone had Rick Ross and kind of did that.
Hmm.
I feel like Perm was that next guy. So every issue that I had ever until his untimely passing, I had an article or did something with him, just off mutual respect and the fact that he was basically the king of the city at that time.
Period.
I worked with
Period.
51-7. Shout out to rest in peace,
Harvey
Abe
Lee.
Real.
Yeah, okay.
Harvey Lee, rest in peace, Abe Reels. Um, Nizzy, shout out to Nizzy.
Nizzy,
Uh,
my brother Nizzy, little Bobby, man. Shout out.
yeah, everybody that pretty much was doing their thing around that time. Shout out to Filthy. Everybody that was at Respirations doing their thing. Shout out to the Conclit. What up, Mo? What up, Sawdoff? Glock.
Hey.
Uh, award skills. I got him right when he got out of college. Actually, he was in
Hmm.
college, and I had called him. I'm like, yo, I need to get you in the magazine. So I went ahead and did like a little phone thing and threw him in there. But anybody that was moving and shaking, I kept my ears to the streets. And then from that point, it got up to about issue number 4. I was fortunate to get a exclusive interview with Freeway Rick Ross while he was locked up in the halfway house before he got out of that 20-year bid. So when that jumped off, the magazine just went crazy. It became no longer a local magazine; it became a global thing. So
So if you can you walk us through that first article, like when you were like interviewing some of the people that you were watching on television or listening to their music, and now you're there one on one with them. So take us through that first article in that first magazine where you actually expanded outside of the city.
bro, it's just like what we're doing right now. When I go
Okay.
into, I'm not going in there as an interview person, and that's what makes me unique. I'm going in and we having a conversation. So I'm on the phone or I'm face to face, and we having a real conversation, and I'm putting those words into an interview. So that's my thing. I feel like everything has to be genuine. I did Freeway Ricky over the phone. The first real big one that I did face to face probably would have been Tech Nine. And what
Mm,
I did also, I did my
legend.
research. I looked into Midwest artists that were relevant and that had a following. Tech Nine has a cult following. I put him on the
A
cover of the
deep, especially at
magazine.
that time, man, he was so deep. His following was crazy back then.
I put him on the magazine. I know that I'm gonna sell 2 or 3 thousand magazines to his fans. Put MGK on the magazine. He has a cult following, and he was hot. I think I was the only one. I was one of the first to break him in the Midwest. I ended up going down.
Well, let's not run past that, man. You said two key
Okay.
names in the game, MGK. So how did that go about, man? How did you go about getting with his management and making that happen? And
That
MGK, you
was
speaking of Machine Gun Kelly is who you speaking of,
right.
correct? Yes,
Right.
sir.
Yeah. So what I did with that is when the magazine became, known in the Midwest or known in Michigan, I
Mm-hmm.
decided to go ahead and take my promotion and my marketing and branding to Ohio. So I linked up with the Ohio Hip Hop Awards, and anybody that came through there after 2010, I was plugged in with the Nerd DJs. Shout out to Big Hef. He's on the cover of one of the issues. Uh, with him linking me up with MGK, I went down there at the 2010 Ohio Hip Hop Awards, and with the sole purpose of meeting MGK. I seen him
That's what's
online, and
up,
I
man.
knew he was bubbling. So me and Hakeem, we drove down there. 4 hours drove down there, got down there. We ended up meeting way more people than him. We met Busy Bone, Bigger Rankin. You know, their scene down there was way popping in Michigan. So when I went down there and linked up with him, uh, about a year later, I put him on the cover, and that one did numbers. So what I usually do is target artists that I like, and artists that will bring some value to the brand, and also their story needs to be told.
Man, exactly. So some of these stories told, man, what are some of the most interesting stories that you've actually came encounter with when interviewing somebody that one might think that they're this, that, and the other, but you sit down with them and they're just normal person. Who's the most memorable interview that you can remember that's in the industry?
Most memorable interview would be. I got so many of them, but to just to
You
think
can name
off
them off.
top,
We got time, brother. We all here to hear your story.
right? Just to let me see. I'll go ahead and go with. I'll say a most memorable one would be Kendrick Lamar. Uh, at that point, it was right before he was about to sign with Dre over at Aftermath. He had came here for a opening up for Wale, and I had met him before because I had already been plugged in with TDE, and I had J Rock in the magazine from the MySpace age. I reached out through
Wow.
him on MySpace, and he had came to Flint one time. That's the night I met Nipsey Hussle and got my first interview with him. Actually, I'm going to talk about Nipsey Hussle. He's the
Yes,
one
let's
that
talk, man.
he's the one that was probably the most impressive uh, because at that time he had a aura around him that made it. You knew right there that he was on his grind, that he was going to be something. At that time when I interviewed him on the bus, he had said he, already was 100,000 deep in the streets with his mixtape. And I had asked him, I said, you remind me of Snoop a little bit. He's like, yeah, I get that a little bit. I'm doing my thing. So uh, the J Rock, the Kendrick Lamar, and the Nipsey Hussle, that triangle right there, that has to be the most memorable time because it was early, and I put them up I put the Midwest up on them. They was from the West Coast. When they came here, they was like, bro, we appreciate you. We appreciate you. We ain't really got too much promo out here. And I told them I was gonna put them in the magazine. Cool. Uh, when I hollered at Kendrick, the last thing he said, which I remember the most in the interview, I was like, "Oh, what you about to do next?" He was like, "I'm about to head to Detroit." And when we got off the camera, he was headed to Detroit to hook up with Eminem. And then two
Wow.
weeks later, he got signed by Aftermath. And I'm sure they had a track that they did that weekend. I ain't heard it yet, or probably they did a few of them. But just to know to be at the beginning of careers like MGK, Nipsey Hussle, uh, Kendrick Lamar, and J Rock, and artists like that, even Cap One, what I'm saying, yeah,
Man, that's amazing, man. So you're literally a part of the very beginning. So you said a few like that weekend he went and kicked it with him. Next thing you know, 2 weeks later, the announcement has been made that he's with Aftermath.
yeah, he gave me some indications that
Like it's
that
about to happen.
yeah, because I asked him, I said, so what's up with you and Dre? He's like, man, we talking, I'm doing my thing, we're doing this and that. But then also it all worked out because he ended up signing with Tech Nine for like a solo deal. Kendrick
See,
and
another jewel. We
Kendrick
didn't know that one.
and J Rock. So when Tech Nine came and I had him on the magazine, and they was on tour. Anytime they come and tour Michigan, I'm pulling up. You know, I'm on the tour bus. I'm getting autographs. I'm doing all this and that. So everywhere I go, I'm intertwining in all these different circles. So the brand is known and the face is known. So I'm just kind of humble with it, bro. We straight from Lansing right here,
Say
and
it again.
all these new cats that's coming out, they just gotta holler at me, man. I show nothing but love and
And
support.
that's what I wanted to highlight is the love that you show, man. Like you will have an article like that, right? But you will still put local artists in that magazine,
On the
highlighting them
cover.
as well, right next to them. And that's what makes you the legend that you are, man. Is that you've never
Okay.
separated, like you never got too big for your city, and that's why the
Right.
city loves you, man. And that's why people are tuning in right now, man. Shout out to everybody tuning in to Destined for Greatness, man. Thank y'all for tuning in. I have my brother KC Hood Illustrated in the building right now. We're talking about his road to get to where he's at, the people he had in his magazine. And now my question to you, brother, is who influenced you to get going with being a journalist and starting your own magazine? Who are some of the people that inspired you to get this thing going?
Um, just on the business tip and on the music tip, I would say Master P. I'm a diehard Master P No Limit fan. Sway from Sway in the Morning. Those are two of the people that I had looked up to. Uh, Sway, especially when I got into the tastemaker role and the position where I can go ahead and kind of be an influencer in the music game. So I would say those two people right there.
Have you had a chance to meet Sway and talk to him and kind of pick his brain a little bit?
Of course.
Yeah, okay. That's what's up, man. You be moving and shaking, man. I don't know why I asked that dumb question. Actually, I don't why. Why?
No, man, it's a good question. If I can elaborate on that, and I don't know if I mentioned it to you, but what I did is I had told my wife because I knew that he was going to be down at South by Southwest um, one year, and
Mm-hmm.
what I usually do with the magazine, I'll go to South by Southwest, I'll go to A3C, anything that's an event, I'm I'm flooding it with the magazines. So I knew that he was going to be there, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna go to his show. I'm gonna make sure you know who I am. So
Mm-hmm.
I went ahead and went to the morning show that they had, and I messed around and just flooded scene with the magazines, and eventually he got one. He was like, "Man, what's this?" I'm like, "It's Hood Illustrated." He's like, "Let's talk about it." So he got me live on stage. I got it on my YouTube, all that. So I got to shout out Lansing. He was like, "Where you from?" Actually, Heather B was like, "Where you from?" I'm like, "Lansing." She was like, "Oh, Magic Johnson." I'm like, "Yeah, Magic Johnson, DJ
Okay, they
Infamous."
already knew about us.
Yeah, they already knew about the city. So uh, it didn't stop there because I want him on the cover. So anytime I was somewhere, I was in Cleveland one time for the Nerve DJs 13th anniversary, and he was scheduled to be there, and I was scheduled to be there. So he's like, "Okay, here go the Hood dude again." So I went ahead and chopped
See,
it up
he
with
seen
him.
you working, man. He seen you putting
And
that
then
work in.
then 6 months later, uh, he had a pop up in Detroit. And what I did, I went ahead and left work a little bit early that day and drove down to Detroit at Bob's Shoe Shop or something. And I put up on them there. It was Royce the 5'9", Trick Trick, a whole bunch of other Trick Trick. He been in the magazine a few times. He know about it, so he was able to vouch for me there. So everywhere I
Mm-hmm.
go, and there's people that ask about KC or the brand, I know someone that's in that circle that's basically, uh, you know, vouching for me and showing love.
Man, that's because that's another thing that I like to talk about on the show is relationship building. How important is it to you to build strong relationships with people?
Oh, that's the top thing, man. If you ain't real, it ain't real. I mean, if I can't link up with you and if you're worried a bond, then it might be a short-lived uh, interaction. But I got a couple homeboys, I got a couple people that I network with that, what I'm saying, they solid. And that when I look for artists and I network with artists, of course it's a business and you don't have to take things personal,
Mm-hmm.
but to have a long lasting relationship, you want to be able to network and build at the same levels. So I just try to 100 the streets, owing nobody nothing. I don't be in the streets, having my brand or my name tarnished off interaction or anything that someone has to, say about me. So I try to keep it 100, man, at all times.
And I gotta respect that, man. So right now, if there's somebody watching, man, they want to get into your magazine. They're working in the L right now, right? They're grinding. You're respecting their hustle. But what are some of the
We
qualifications,
freeze up,
man?
bro.
Are we? Somebody said we are.
I think we got. We good.
I am here, KC. Are you still here, my brother? I thought we was good. We Gucci, man. Whatever it is, everybody's still here, man. I'm sorry for whatever's happening. I don't know. We good? Can you see me? Can you hear me? All right, we not sure what's going on, sir. Can you hear me?
We back. We good.
All right. All right. I think I'm streaming live, so you know how it goes. Everybody right now using the internet in the whole world, so we're gonna keep this thing going though. We ain't gonna let the enemy stop us, brother.
Yeah, I can hear you now. It's just a little delay on here.
Okay. But so speaking on, man, so what do you plan on doing like for new artists coming up, man? Do you have a section in your magazine for new artists coming up?
All right, just shoot them questions. I can hear you, just ain't synced up.
Yeah, I have no idea what's going on, man. I'm sorry for the technical difficulties. Usually I have an answer or something like this is happening, but I have no idea.
I got a new issue because coming out. I think we're there. I got a new issue that's coming out February, mid-February. We got some independent artists out of St. Louis in there. We got some independent artists out the Midwest.
Hey, Casey, do me a favor, brother. Can you just log out and then log back in, man? Yep, and as we're doing that right now, it's no problem. I'm gonna go into a share the footage of him and the Kendrick Lamar interview. Extremely interesting, man. Check it out.
Yes, Kendrick Lamar out here at Michigan State. They got me out here for the first time. I'm loving it. I'm loving the city. First off, we shouting out Hood Illustrated, my people, you know what I mean? Keeping it G, keeping it ghetto. That's where we come from, so that's what we represent. You know what I mean? Hood Illustrated. What's up with it?
Can you pay my music respect? Oh, I mean that from the bottom of my heart. You see my heart is all I have. Pretty sweet, taste sweet. Even when the enemy gets no start, still knock them out the park like a fucking toast car. They buy guns, we buy guns, but where I'm from, we buy guns and more guns to give to the young. I'm living the life of a nigga trap, nigga. Inside the system, all you envision is rap, nigga. My uncle doing life inside prison, he wasn't rap too tight. He told me rap about life, not rap, nigga. That's why I'm chasing my head when you rap dissing. My stomach starts turning, my nerves get to twitching. I start evaluating them, my final intuition is that you wishing to come up, will just come up. We used to beefing off the turf, fuck beefing over a verse. Niggas dying, motherfucker, double one, tantra. Niggas dying, motherfucker, double one, tantra. Hey, 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 hey. Michigan State, what the fuck is up? That wasn't loud enough. I don't like
Brian, man, you independent hustling, ain't you?
Yes, sir, man. So, independent hustle got me to Michigan State. Rocking this motherfucking crowd tonight, man. They show mad love and support. So it's all blessings right now, man. I'm feeling good.
All right, man. That's what it is. I know a couple years ago, man, I fucked around and drove up and damn snowstorm to holler at J Rock up there on the game tour up there in Flint. You was up there too. But niggas didn't know who you was, but now your name is everywhere. What you been doing since '08 to make your shit so hot right now?
Basically just doing the, like you said, some independent shit. But before that, just basically getting the music right, you know what I mean? Because everything falls after that. Just putting 110% more in my music and not worrying about what the radio want, what the industry want. And taking it from there, man. People respect it, and that definitely got the name out, you know what I mean, to the masses, so it's all love.
Okay, so what's the official, the situation, you guys, the TDE and anything else?
We got, of course, the TD for forever, you know what I mean? That's been my label. They believed in me from the jump since I was 16, you know what I mean? So we got other situations on the table, a lot of major situations on the table with major labels, but right now we're just focusing on the independent grind. You know what I mean? Of course, I'm working with Dre right now on the Detox, so that's an honor by itself. So I'm just gonna keep doing me, man, and just keep putting out the music, making it priority first, and not thinking about the business aspects of it, you know?
Okay, so what we got coming up?
There we are. And there we are. We are back. We are back. That was my brother KC with the Kendrick Lamar. You know what I'm saying? A one-on-one sit down with him, man. There's so much more. Go check that out on the Hood Illustrated page. It's there for y'all checking out. We back and we live and we working, man. You see what I'm saying? We just got to keep it professional, man. Got to keep it going.
That's what's up.
All right, man, let's keep the conversation going. So go back to what you were saying, brother. You were saying that you are having something for up-and-coming artists coming up in your new issues of magazines, right?
Yeah, I got a few things, man. I'm always trying to provide something for the artists. I got I got a beat out there right now for the Hood Illustrated Challenge. It's a beat that was produced by Lacoste.
Shout out to Kaz.
Yeah, it's on the SoundCloud. I'll go ahead and put it on my page tonight. But what I've been telling artists, any artist that got the hardest song and they can go ahead and put a little video, it could be a phone video. If you go ahead and record something and submit it and we can share it, I'm trying to put some artists on the cover, something like, the top, 5 or 6 artists that can go ahead and spit off the beat, trying to put them on that. But I do got a new issue coming out in February. I'd like to get anybody that's interested in pushing their brand, anybody that's trying to, get some exposure. It's just not the print. It's going to be online. It's going to be pushed through the social media. So the hard copies is valuable, but we still pushing online so you can get them views and you can, get them streams turned up.
Hey, that's what's up, man. That's what's up. So you were telling me that you have different sections in your magazines. Can you tell us about how your articles are broke down inside of your magazine? Some of the things that you highlight in the community?
Yeah, definitely. We got the hood stories, which are the articles for the artists, the independent artists. They have their own section. We got a neighborhood watch where we highlight artists that you need to look out for. The next one's the blow. And we really represent the Midwest, bro. There's not a lot of shine for the Midwest artists. So that's my thing. It's all about the Midwest. So as for other articles, we got the money in the power section to show you how to get your bread right, get your credit right.
Let's talk about that. Yeah. So who you have working on that section? Give me a little something that has been in one of your articles about that. That's very important.
This last issue I dropped, issue number 11, I had the money in the power section, and I also had the hood culture section. I had Hakeem Crampton do an article about the prison system and just giving us some education on how we getting locked up in different ways that the system is against us. For the money in the power section, I had Sharice McKinney from the Twins.
The Twins, yeah. Shout out to them. And their podcast is awesome, so shout out to them too.
Yeah, shout out to them and everything they do. I tried to, and actually those were some of the first artists that was in the magazine too. Back when they were doing their thing back then.
The rapping,
I remember that. Definitely. So she had written an article in the Money and Power, How to Fix Your Credit. Try to keep at least 50-60% available, but if you can only keep 10% on your card. Do that so that credit score can rise up. So that's an example of that. I highlighted Mike Muse, an Everett alumni. Made sure that people check
Yes, he
into
is.
him. He's a legend in the city. That's one
Period.
person that also connected me with Sway. Because when I seen him in Detroit, he's like, this KC from my hometown. So that vouched for me a little bit more too. So that also goes into uh, the fact that who you know and how you carry yourself can make an
Mm-hmm.
impression on the next person.
Man, because that's what you do. Once again, you keep great relationships. Everything you're saying is, this person, that person, I've worked with them back then, and it's helping me get to where I'm at, the next step. So more artists. So tell us another section that you had. I didn't want to interrupt you, but that was a very good, important section I wanted you to touch on. So what's some more sections that you have in your magazine?
So we got the neighborhood watch. I mentioned that. We got the
Mm-hmm.
hood stories. Um, we got the hood news alert. That's basically a little bit of everything. Anything that's going on in the world. If it's anything to do with police brutality. I had a last article. I had a section about George Floyd, making sure that stays close to mind. Um, we have a model section. It's just a lot, bro. I try to cover. Oh, we got the straight ball and sports page. Shout out to Tate's Tate from Lansing. Uh, he's a contributor to the magazine. I'm sorry I didn't mention him earlier, but forever, that brother right there has been on his grind down there in Atlanta, and
What
I'm
you mean?
proud
I
of
was just
him.
on the phone with him yesterday, and he gave me some jewels, man. Shout out to Tate, man.
Right. So that's my guy right there. Um, we got the hip hop resource section. When you look at Hood Illustrated, I don't want you to look at it like it's just a magazine. It's a
Mm-hmm.
networking tool. I make sure it's at least 60 to 80 different contacts in there. If you hit them up, uh, they can do something. They can network on the music, some A&R stuff. Uh, they might got a clothing brand. So I look at the magazine of being more than just a booklet. It's a resource guide. So that's another brand that I own. Hip hop resource right here. We got Certified Hood. We got Hood Culture, Hood Illustrated Global, and we got Hood Illustrated. So we branded up over here, bro. We
Yes,
ain't
sir.
playing.
You ain't playing. That's why I had to have you on because you're definitely, definitely destined for greatness, man. And I love what you're doing. So, do you have anything that you got going on with the youth or anything like that, man? Trying to give back because this is the season. I mean, we've got to that older age where we the OGs now, and it's time for us to get back. I had LaKaz on here, Kaz Dramatic on here Tuesday, and he was talking about the program you had. So, is there anything for the young youth that you got going on with them that you might have a section for them or anything like that with Hood Illustrated?
Man, I got anything that they need, man. I get called the OG a lot, man, and I used to look at it as being something bad or something
Nah,
negative.
it's a good
You're
thing.
like OG, and what I need is I do need a more youthful tone with the magazine. So I wouldn't mind reaching out and providing that type of internship, or if they can get credits for writing in the magazine, some high schoolers,
Let's
uh,
go. Let's talk about
college
it.
students. So anybody's welcome to submit their content. I have hoodillustrated.com where you can go ahead and upload your blogs. But if they hit me up directly at that number on the screen right there, that 410-0500, I'm gonna pick up and I'm ready to work. Call me after this interview and we can get it in.
Did you hear that, man? That's what we doing for Desert for Greatness, man. We bringing people together. We trying to network. Everybody's going places, but sometimes you need another hand in a situation where you might not be at. So thank you, Casey, for coming on, man. I got mad questions, but I don't know about your time. I know that you have something very important that you have to attend to today, family oriented. My prayers are with you and your family, man. You know what I'm saying? That everything is going to turn out awesome for you, brother. And is there anything else that you would like to share while I have you here? I don't want to hold you too much longer.
We got some time, bro. I'm good. I
Okay.
appreciate your thoughts and your prayers, and thank you for everybody that shows love to me, man. I'm the same Kevin Carter, KC Hood Illustrated, from way back, from
Mm-hmm.
Elmhurst, the White Rich, Sexton.
Let's talk
It
about it.
yeah, it's nothing. It's nothing changed about me, man. We in the city of Lansing. I feel like we got some of the best talent, not only uh, in Michigan but the Midwest. And I do have a goal just to go ahead and break somebody, break a few artists, break a few movements. It's just it got to be some artists that's serious, man. And they, I know with COVID and the pandemic and all, uh, it's definitely affected me where I can't move because I
Mm-hmm.
have physical magazines that I can't give
You can't do
people
nothing with.
because I
Yeah.
don't want to bring any COVID to my house. Um,
So how are
but
you
I
dealing
am,
with how you dealing with your business? How you dealing with Hood Illustrated right now, being that you're more of a contact type of worker? You know what I'm saying? You're usually out in the field. So how has it been that you can't be out in the field and do your job?
you just got to be mindful,
Mm-hmm.
and what I try to do is just be understanding and a lot of stuff like what we're doing right now. I mean, the magazine is on that level too, where I'll pull up on you. I'll pull up to the hood and do the interviews. I'm gonna keep my distance, and we can get it in, and or we can do it over the phone or do it over the internet. It's gonna continue to be business being done. It's
Let's
just you got
go.
to do it in a professional and respectful way.
Yeah, so right now, who do you got their ear to the streets? Somebody that has not been in your magazine yet, but you see their movement or you hear them making noise. Who are some of the artists and some of the names locally in the city that you are hearing about, but you don't know about yet? You just don't know them personally, but you hear noise about them.
Well, everybody that I keep my ear to the streets to, and I'm hearing, I make sure I go out and I know them personally, or at least they know me, and then I give them the opportunity to go ahead and push play. They can push play and be like, "Hey, I want to work with him," or it
Mm-hmm.
could just be like whatever. But as for around here, um, I like Tug of the rapper.
Yes,
Uh,
sir. Tug.
I like him. I was hooked. I was driving to Detroit to pick up my one of my best friends the other week, and we had got in the ride, and he was like, "Man, let me hear some stuff from the hometown." So I threw in the AON No Sleep Millie,
Oh, you
and
talking about the All or Nothing squad, man? Shout out to All or Nothing.
so we vibed out to that all the way up to Saginaw, and
Uh oh.
that ended up being one of my top CDs at this time. Shout out to my boy Lavish.
Hi,
He out there
yes,
on the
sir.
West
Legend
Coast.
too.
Can't forget about him. Sincere had threw me a CD, his new CD a few weeks ago. I was reviewing that. Um, so it's some of the new cast, but I'm also mixing in some of the people that's been consistent through time in there. But my ears, a lot of times, bro, I really take pride, and I keep mentioning the Midwest because you know that's what we are. And for me to go ahead and get some of these Lansing artists in these different cities, like
That's a
Elkhart,
big deal.
the last issue I had, um, I had got a phone call from somebody who got the magazine that was in federal prison about 5 years ago. So the magazine was floating around. He was like, "Bro, I want to be in that magazine." I'm like, "Okay, we can get you a page." He was like, "No, I want the cover." So this is Block 4 Entertainment out of Elkhart. So about 2 years later, my man had hit me up. It was like November 2019. He was like, "Bro, can you come down?" And we talked it up, chopped it up. So I went down there to Elkhart. I think it was the day after Thanksgiving, and we shot the interview. We did a photo shoot. We got him in the magazine, but that's the passion I'm talking about. This man was locked up for about 5 years. Told himself he wanted to be in my magazine. So when he called me from prison, I'm thinking like, oh, okay. But he was a man of his word. He got out. We chopped it up, did what we had to do, and now, even during the pandemic, their label and their careers have elevated because of this brand. And I was just happy to go ahead and put them in there. So about a month ago, I'm gonna go into uh, about a month ago, I had went down to St. Louis and linked up with MidwestMixtapes.com, and they got a spread for the city. So St. Louis is gonna be on the map on the next issue. The next issue got them on it. And I told you I'm a No Limit fan. We got the No
Okay,
Limit.
I'm gonna get to that, man. Well, so tell me about the one you told me backstage. The one of my favorite No Limit artists. Who's on the cover, man?
We got Fiend on the cover, man.
Come on, Mister. Come on, man.
We got Fiend for the money on the cover. I went in
Mister,
and
get it on Jones, man.
interviewed him when No Limit came to Detroit. So whenever people or these artists are coming around, I try not to put everything out there and put it on the internet, but you can probably see where I be at. So I went ahead and linked up with him, linked up with the whole No Limit. I already ran to Master P. I've already interviewed Mac. Um,
You
I've
talking about
gotten an
Mac?
interview. Yeah, Mac, that's locked up. I've gotten an interview with him through the Connected Experience podcast, and so I got like the whole No Limit roster. I done got interviews with Mystical. You can even go back to Young Bleed. So I got a nice little piece of No Limit history coming out in this next issue. That'll be coming out in about 4 to 6 weeks. Um, yeah,
That's a big deal, man. That is a
that's
big deal right there. You got Master P, Fiend, Mystical, even Mac that's been locked up. The interviews are getting serious, brother.
yes, yes. Can I touch on one more thing, bro?
Yes, you can. That's what we're here for.
All right, man. I appreciate you in the whole podcast movement. I want everybody to know that Hood Illustrated also dropped the podcast edition, the first ever magazine that was a podcast magazine. We connected with the Connected Experience, uh, my guys out of Inkster, the ones that introduced me to Freeway Ricky Ross. We've had a business and a friendship for over 10 years. They also have the College of Hip Hop.org, where it's an actual online college. But we had connected with their Urban Podcast Summit based out of Inkster in the Detroit area. But we dropped the first ever podcast edition in 2000 and I believe 18. So
Man, you be ahead of the game.
yeah, so I haven't got my own podcast yet,
Uh-huh.
but I'm definitely excited to see the progress, and I also excited to see about some of the other people that I've been dropping some jewels to around here, that's doing their thing. So I pride myself on being a tastemaker, a mover and shaker. A few of the cats around here that got the keys to the city on the hip hop end, music
Mm-hmm.
end. I feel like I'm in that conversation when it comes to that.
No, but what conversation? Hold on. You don't see what this says right here? This is what you are. That's what you are. Cut it out, man. 51-7 legend right here. Mr. KC Carter, Hood Illustrated Magazine, is on Destined for Greatness podcast, making it happen, man. So, you said you got a little bit of time, right?
Right.
So now I kind of want you to talk about the energy of the Midwest music right now. Do you feel like, because every coast has their turn, right? Right? Atlanta and the South had their turn. New York is the birthplace. West Coast had their. Do you think at this time that the Midwest is making a impact right now in the music industry?
I definitely do, man. I think we are by far the most influential um, coast after Pac and Biggie died. I mean, because you got Eminem, you got the Nellies. I mean, these are uh, platinum, multi-platinum, 10 times platinum artists. You got dope MCs like Royce the 5'9". Uh, and the thing about it, we got our own sound. I mean, Detroit got a sound, but other cities around here, around the Midwest, you got Bone. Um, I think we definitely are something to be reckoned with, man. The Midwest. That's why I pride myself on pushing this movement. I mean, there's so many different artists that are good and that have a following. You got cities that I've touched on. You got Flint, you got Lansing, you got Grand Rapids, Detroit, Columbus, Indiana, Chicago, St. Louis, uh,
It's,
Cleveland,
it's crazy.
Columbus. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Youngstown. Um, yeah, the Midwest, man, is where it's at. The weather ain't all that great, but the way we work hard and the blue collar mentality and how we just go in, I love the Midwest. I'll never tell anybody or anything negative about the L or the 517. I love this city.
Me too. I
I
feel the
love the
same way,
Midwest.
man. I mean, when I started my podcast, I dedicated, these first 2 months to just my hometown and people that I feel like been extremely inspirational, definitely been impactful, people that I know that have made noise in the city, man. You know what I'm saying? So, and you definitely have been one of the key players in the city with that movement. And
Thank you,
I think
brother.
we all thank you for that and appreciate
Appreciate
your
you.
grind because it's relentless. What you are called is a person that can lay the blueprint, because you can, people can see what you did. If I wanted to do a magazine, I can watch Hood Illustrated and have a successful magazine. And you're
Or
the
you
type of
can call
person
me too.
you told me to put this up. You was like, Woods, put my phone number up. Come on, man. You working with all of these industry talents and you're still like, yo, put my phone number up so people can get a hold of me so I can interview them. That's dope.
Right. That's
All
what
right,
it
so is
is,
there
man.
yeah, that's what it is, man. So like you were telling me that you know what I'm saying, you wanted to work with me in my sobriety movement. So I want to talk
Right.
about that for a second. You reached out to you was like, Woods, I like what you're doing with the sobriety and I want to have that a part of the magazine. That's big, man. I want to salute you for even giving me that opportunity, man. And I'm going to definitely deliver on it for you, bro.
Right. Appreciate it, bro. I overlooked another section in the magazine in the hood culture section. We have a section that's dedicated to like mental health also and getting your
Yes.
mental and making sure that you operate on the right level. So that kind of ties in
Yes,
into
it
what we
does.
want to do, bro. We want to make sure that the stuff that normally don't get talked about, that we put the shine and the light on that. That way, we can deal with different things that pop up that not maybe not be the norm. So yeah.
Yeah, so speaking of that, man, I'm glad you brought that up because that's what all of next month, the whole month of February, we're dealing with mental health in the month of February. Not only is the Black History Month, there's also going to be Mental Health Month for Destined for Greatness. We're going to take a dive into it. A lot of people are dealing with anxieties, depressions. I got a lot of doctors and counselors that I have connections with. I'm about to make this thing happen, man. So y'all tune out for that. But while we have Casey here, man, I want to know one more question. Is there anything that you want to get out before we get up off of this thing, man? Because to me, you're just a genius to me because for what you did to come
Appreciate it.
from our city to have the grind and not be fearless. The number one thing that I think of you is fearless. You're fearless. You don't care who that person is on the other end of that phone. If you want to talk to them, you will. You don't care what barriers over there. If you want it, you're going to cross it. And that's right there, man. It's being fearless, and that's what a lot of people are hung up on is fear. And I salute you, man, for going ahead and showing strength for the city and putting us on your back, man, and you know what I'm saying, to make it happen.
That's what's up, man. I appreciate you for putting me on this platform. Um, I guess I just want to leave it with, man. Just go for your grind it out, and go for what you know, man. Don't let anything hold you back. I've had uh, things that held me back, and I've had thoughts of giving up.
Mm-hmm.
The magazine and things like that when things were going good, man. So what you gotta do is just buckle down and believe in yourself and for people who are continue to push, if you have an idea out there and it don't hit, a lot of ideas don't hit right at the beginning. Like Hood
Mm-hmm.
Illustrated didn't hit until like 2 or 3 years later. And what a lot of people don't know is that Hood Illustrated ain't the best idea that's been in my head. I still got about 5 or 6 ideas better than this one that eventually will come out. So I'm just riding this wave right here, and we're gonna go ahead and convert it and make things pop off, bro.
Man, that was a jewel right there, man. And I salute you and I appreciate you. Once again, y'all give it up for my guest for today, Mr. KC Carter of Hood Illustrated Magazine, brother. You know, if you ever need me, man, you have an issue you want to drop or something, you're always welcome on Destined for Greatness, man. Because before we got here, you were telling me a story about when we first met. You came out to my apartment, man, and you had your notepad and you was working then. And we've
Yeah.
been working ever since, bro. So I was there since day one watching you get to where you are. And it's been an honor to be your friend through this and to watch you from a distance. Kill it.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Shout
All
out
right,
to you,
man.
bro. Thank you.
Yes, sir. All right, man. You stay in the back, man. I'm gonna talk to you in the back for a second. We got a couple of things we gotta chop up. We ain't done yet.
All right, cool.
All right, man. Let me talk to everybody. Thank y'all for tuning in for Destined for Greatness podcast. It has been another amazing show. It has been fun, man. I'm not done with Hip Hop Week, man. I'm not done. Tomorrow, tune in. DJ Cut Nice in the building. On the ones and twos too, man. I don't even care. I'm letting him do his thing because he's a genius. Y'all got to see his skills. The legend himself, Cut Nice, is in the building. And then I have an exclusive on Saturday, y'all. Yes, sir. I got an exclusive. I got, Yeah, I'm going to tell y'all. Churchill Visions is coming on here, man. We about to talk about this new mixtape, this compilation that's going on Saturday where the album drops. It's going to be right here. He's coming here first to release it. Let's go. Destined for Greatness, man. Shout out to E, Sosa, Eric, man. Saturday, tomorrow. You know who we got? DJ Cut Nice. Destined for Greatness. I love y'all. Like I tell y'all all the time, man. Every single time. What do I tell y'all? Y'all ain't ready yet? I'm out.